Good morning, everyone. I have not had a single hour of sleep, and so I decided to make this because I was struggling in bed. So I apologize in advance if this video is a little weird. I sound a little off today. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the intro to this video that took a solid moment. Anyways, as promised for today's dev diary, I will be working on Mount Awat's pawns, which if you've read my patch notes, you know that I struggle with them greatly. I really hope no other map maker looks at my videos and like, what's wrong with this guy? Because I'm trying, man. Anyways, currently Mount Awat spawns pawns by drawing a circle in the center of the map and then telling the pawns to stay a good bit away from that circle, right? And then once a pawn spawns, the pawn will be told to stay a good bit far away from the pawn that just spawned, so they'll have a distant amount of gap from each other. Theoretically, this would typically spawn better spawns than the original formula I had, but after some more playtesting, I'm not satisfied. This thing only works like maybe 70% of the time, which is terrible. Not even passing in my book. So I'm gonna try and rework it so it consistently spawns by where you spawn. I got an idea. If you notice on some maps, I make a little circle around your base, whether it be like a texture circle or a little small ring of water like in Luminous Ravine. I'm gonna make that circle on Mount Awat, but I'm gonna make it invisible. Bear with me here. I'm actually going to make two circles, one small one and one big one. The purpose of the small one is to protect your starting resources because we don't want the pawn to override your starting resources now. And then I'll make the pawn spawn in the big circle ring. So it'll stay away from your starting resource but still spawn nearby you. Although this creates one problem. If your enemy has a pawn in the back and you have a pawn in the front, that's not very fair, is it? So in order to work around this, I've kept the previous giant circle in the middle that I used for my previous formula. I've kept that so that it'll consume a good bit of the center and prevent your pawn from spawning in the center. That way, for both players, the pawn will try to spawn in the back more. Although there is still some unfairness with this, as some people's pawns will spawn on the side very rarely, and then the other person's might spawn in the back. Um, I'll think of a solution for later, but I've been working on this for days, and this is what I could think of. Honestly though, this double circle thing inspired me to make another map. I'm gonna show you that. So Dev Diaries number 5, looking good. We have something to work on here. Um, yeah, the map is definitely in alpha stage, so its decorations are not all there yet, so it might be a little underwhelming. But it's a start, and I have an idea, so looks nice. Definitely has potential to be a template for an Aztec map. I've gone ahead and set the invisible circles to have a different terrain from the rest of Mount Awat. Obviously, when I finish, I'm going to set it back to have the same terrain as everything else so you can't see it and it's invisible. But for the time being, hopefully this visualizes what I did and helps you understand. And then on top of that, I'm going to change the code I used to spawn the fish. Instead of having a one bunch, I'm going to just spawn X amount of fish behind each player. Hopefully that works out in my favor more often than not. As we have the future, this plan eventually falls through because the giant circles are created on a player by player basis, so it creates one per player, which prevents it from being classified in this area because it's not one area, it's a class of areas that you made. And area seems to be the only thing that constrictions work for because you can't seem to create a class constriction, which would solve this problem. But no, it doesn't work. Plan fell through. I'm at a loss for now. I'm just gonna move on for a bit. Maybe my goal here is to forcefully make two areas that are hard coded in separately for just the purpose of 1v1 and use the old formula for non 1v1 games since I hardly expect anyone in team games to be caring about that kind of stuff since there's so many other things to deal with. Oh, to be fair, I also don't know anyone playing 1v1s in Mount Awat since that's such an uncompetitive map. But yeah, I'm going to show the command they use on screen. Like I said, I'm still a novice at this. I'm still learning because there's not really any tutorials out there. But judging by the fact that the entry is N, I could probably change it to 1 and 2 in the case of 1v1 and hard code those areas and be able to make an area restriction for both players 1 and 2 and go from there and then have the original formula for team games. Since although I could technically program it for every single player, but that would take a lot of effort. I'll see if I want to do that or not. But given I've lost inanimate water for the 7th time in a row now on what was supposed to be a huge I finally did it video, um, I'm gonna take a quick detour, get some small victories so I can boost my morale up real quick, and that'll be Dev Diary number 4 where I go through and patch smaller, super easy to fix bugs, and then Dev Diary number 5 I'll try something new because the new map I showed you. Really excited to try it out and set it up as a template for the upcoming Aztec DLC. But yeah, I'm sorry there's not much footage today because most of my work went to losses that produced no footage for you guys. And yeah, that's just a thing that happens with map making, even if it's not discussed that much. There's a handful of maps that I made but end up scrapping because I thought it was kind of lame. Or maps I borrowed too much code from the official maps from, so I have no idea how to actually fix it or make it work. And yeah, I'll be public about it because that is my only tutorial that I have right now, besides the little documents. I actually haven't checked on any other map maker since I started making maps because I started making maps due to my game not being able to download mods for some reason. And that's when I got the idea to make Mount Awa and I started my journey. But despite the setback, though, I think I am getting better looking at this new map template I got. It's definitely something I haven't done before, so I'm branching out to new territories here. Once again, I just want to remind everyone that I have zero coding experience outside of this. This is just something I picked up one day, started doing. On top of that, I have no experience of any other Age of Empires game. Age of Mythology is the first game I played at, so this is my first complete look at anything random map related. I actually didn't even know Age of Mythology had random maps until I picked up the game, and I'm so appreciative of this design. And yeah, that means I didn't play the original either, not Extended Edition or Tales of the Dragon. I have no experience with any Age of Empire game before this. But yeah, I just wanted to ramble a bit so we didn't leave on a sad note, but this video is going to be short due to there not being much footage. So I'm going to go ahead and head out here, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the intro segment I made to compensate for it. See ya!